What's up, everybody? Welcome to another DDLive number 110, baby. Let's do it. Metal. It's been a while since I broke out the metal. Thought it was about time. The name of this group is Conquer Divide. The song is Atonement. Atonement. I think it's an all-female group. Yeah. How you guys doing? All right. Let me pull you guys up here. Let me make sure I can see you. There's my beautiful people. How are you guys doing? Oh, yeah, nice shades. Oh my God. You know, sometimes you go down memory lane, and I got like a folder on my computer it's got like, you know, pictures when I was a kid, pictures of my sister, pictures of my parents, you know, good memories from the 80s. And I saw this picture, and I've shown this picture before, like a few years ago. And it's just so 1985. And I don't remember the context of the picture other than me being at the skating rink. But I used to go to the skating rink like all the time, you know, back when I was a teenager. And but yeah, I don't remember the context. I don't remember who took the picture, you know. So I wish I knew who took the picture. But it's so nice to see you guys in here. Let me say my hellos. Oh, man. What do you think of the backdrop, huh? It's looking sexy, isn't it? Hey, should I change it? Guys, tell me, what do you think? Should I change it? I got blue on there right now. Let me change it to purple. Let me know what you guys think. Purple. Where's my purple? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Boom. Is that... Hold on. And let me turn it up a little bit. Yeah. Is that better? You guys like that better? Oh, there you go. Maybe, yeah, a little bit of purple in the background. I like it. You know, a little bit of contrast, right? There's nothing wrong with some contrast. Yeah. Brad, Good Real Hunting, what's up, man? Mikey Weiss, you pumped up looking motherfucker. Jesse, Jeff Neal, Amber Hill, Erica, Polly, Mega Cat, Jean Wildecombe, Gory Tiger, Red. Oh my God, is that Robbie? Red Moon Travelers. Robbie, how are you doing, man? Now I'm nervous. Oh my God, Robbie is in the house. Jesus. Wesley Cox, Rick Michaels, how are you doing? Mike Johnston, man, you guys are rolling. Vinny, what's up, Vinny? Blood Splatter Chatter, how are you doing? Trina, Ashley, Cody, dude who loves movies, how you doing, brother? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Robbie. Man, this is crazy. I haven't seen you in ages. So cool. Chad for all things horror. So, Robbie, if you're here for the YouTube advice, you're not getting it from the most knowledgeable guy, but I'll tell you what I do know, okay? I'll tell you what I do know. All right? Jesus. Yeah. Chris Snyder, what's up, brother? How you doing? Nice to see you guys. I got a jam-packed show. Don't think that I'm just talking about YouTube. I'm going to talk about the best part 4s. I just got an idea. I was like, hey, why don't I talk about part 4s? You know, because I talked about like Friday part 4 and Halloween 4 recently. I was like, you know, why not just do a catch-all? And by the way, guys, good news. The part 4s are going to be horror and non-horror, okay? So I figured, because it's hard to come up with 10 horror, plus there's a lot of part 4s non-horror that I absolutely love. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys, okay? I got funnies for you guys too. You guys want to start with funnies? We could ease in. We could start with funnies. I did post a message on YouTube a few days ago, and I just hit 9 years this month, and I thought, you know what? It's 9 years. What can I pass on to help the people? You know, maybe you've started a channel and you're suffering, or maybe you haven't started a channel and you're thinking about starting a channel. So I let you guys ask me some questions. I already cut out, I probably got like half a dozen questions in there, but I also did my own cheat sheet so that way I could cover everything. So I think what I'll do is I'll start with my cheat sheet, and that way, to avoid being redundant when I go through the questions, if I see something that I kind of already went over, then I don't need to waste your time with it. Okay? Do you guys want to do the YouTube stuff first? You let me know. Do you want to do the YouTube stuff first, or do you want to do the funnies? Okay? I'm letting you have the power. All right. I'm already seeing some part fours flow in the chat. Yeah. What's everybody drinking? YouTube stuff first. All right, cool. We'll do the YouTube stuff first then. Why not? My voice cracked. All right. Rosalia, how are you doing? The devil himself. You seen Halloween Aftermath? It hasn't come out yet. There's a Indiegogo campaign coming out in February, I believe, early February. I was talking to James Grimm earlier. He's got some nice stuff cooking for that, though. I will say, I don't think he'll mind me saying, I did see like a little, actually, no, there is a little sneak peek out there. And what Halloween Aftermath is it takes place between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. So it kind of fills that gap. But what I saw so far looks very promising. And I think he's still got to shoot the movie. But he's put together kind of a sizzle reel to to wet your whistle, right? And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm barefooted, guys. I think this is the first DDLive that I actually did it barefooted. Because it just, stepping on the carpet, it's nice and cool right now. I got the fan going. And sometimes it's just nice to walk around on carpet barefooted, right? So there you go. All right. So let's start with the YouTube advice, I guess. All right. Give you what you came for, all right? My voice is cracking all over the place, Corey. Okay. All right. So I'll start you off. And guys, well, let me just go ahead and pull it up. All right. Let me just pull it up. Topical slide. Okay, here we go. We'll start with this. All right. We'll start with this. And let me preface this by stating that this is one guy's journey. I am no expert. I am no million subscriber. I'm even no 100,000 subscriber type guy. Okay. But I can tell you I did start from zero. All right. So I'll open it up with that. If you think that I'm going to give you the secret code, the secret key to get you where you want to go, I might not, but maybe I can give you a little nugget, something that'll, maybe help out a little bit. All right. I'm a pretty humble guy, and I'm pretty self-aware. And so I guess that's a good start for the first bullet point is I have failed. All right, guys. I've done this for 9 years. And has it always, like, if I start from the bottom of my square, has it been like this? No, it hasn't been like that. It's been like this, and that's just the way YouTube is. For what I do, talking about movies and whatnot, it's kind of seasonal for me, and I don't do it exactly the right way that I should do it. What factors in for me might not factor in for other people because I have a full-time job. Right now, I don't have a desire to go full-time YouTube. It's not for me right now. Because I like this to feel like a hobby and I like this to feel fun. Even if I get up to like freaking, 100,000 subscribers. Right now, today I hit 100,000 subscribers. If that happened, the way my mindset is right now, I probably wouldn't go full-time. Okay. Just because I like my full-time job. I talked about this with Jason a while back, and he was kind of surprised actually. It's like I don't want to rock the boat, It's kind of like a baseball player and how they're kind of superstitious with things. And if I actually got to a point where I could go full-time YouTube, why change what's working? I guess that's what my mindset would be. If it's working the way it is, and I can manage everything the way it is, then why mess with it, right? Who's to say, like, what if I quit my job and then now I've thrown off my schedule completely, and I don't know what to do with myself because I have a certain schedule. My YouTube days are usually Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. That's my time when my wife's at work. And so I just go full, I really just give it everything, give it my all during that time. So I guess that's a good way to preface, just so you guys know who I am as a person. you know. I'm not that guy right now. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm not the guy right now that says my goal is to go full time. A lot of you that do YouTube, you might want, that might be your goal. And I'll even say it was maybe my goal when I first, like my first year. That was kind of a cool idea. And my job at the time wasn't that great. So yeah. But where I'm at right now, I feel comfortable. I feel very happy with YouTube, happy with my family life, happy with, you know, it's like Mr. Miyagi says, balance, right? Right now, I feel like I have balance, okay? And why mess that up, all right? But I have failed to cue in on that first comment right there. I've had dry spells, you know, where I'm not getting the views that I would want to get. And usually there's a reason for that. It could be it's the off season, because I think I get my most views around October to January. You know, that's a big time frame. But you do have, you know, like say maybe your first quarter up until March. For what I do, it can be kind of tough, right? So you got to be aware of that, and don't freak out if your views take a dive, because there's usually a reason for that. Okay. All right. So next topic, what do you want from this? That's a real hard question that you got to ask yourself. Do you want this to be your career? Do you want this to be a hobby? You know, are you not happy with this right now? If you've done this for a couple of years, are you happy? These are all questions that you need to sit down with yourself and answer, because that answer is going to determine your next step if you're wanting to change something. Okay. I say if you do this for fun and as a hobby, and you're just having a blast doing exactly what you're doing, then I'd say stay the course. If you're not in it for the views, you don't really care about the views, but you're kind of having a good relationship with the community. They know who you are. And, you know, you have your live hangouts or whatever. If what you're doing right now is really making you happy, then I say, why change it? You know? But if you're wanting to go into I don't want to say career mode, but you want to, okay, I want to go to the next level. I want to take this really seriously. Then you have to maybe change things up a little bit. Find out what it is you're doing wrong, if you're doing something wrong, and you need to try to adjust it. All right? So that's the next one. Third bullet point. If you plan it, do it. This is a very important one to me, because I see this all the time in the YouTube space. I see so many YouTubers, young YouTubers, even older YouTubers that say they'll in January they'll say, I'm gonna climb this mountain. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a 4-part series on why Halloween is the greatest franchise ever made. You know, I got my schedule out. I got my plan. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Then you wait through the year and it's crickets. Nothing. No, I see it all the time, and I don't judge those people, because life gets in the way. I get it. I completely get it. But I think the reason I say this, is because, not to pick on you, but to try to get you to realign your way of thinking. Like my thing, and I don't always nail it, but sometimes I'll be like, I'm going to post on Twitter today something that I want to do. Like, say, when I did Halloween Ends Revisited, I waited a little bit too long to do that, but I never mentioned that it was coming. And so I said, I need to get this revisited review out, but I can't just, you know, I can't half-ass it. So what I did was I went to Twitter and I said, okay, I'm ready. Halloween Ends, it will be out on this date. Let's say 2 weeks from now. And 2 weeks from now, Halloween Ends Revisited, boom, it came out. A bigger goal that I had was, I'm going to do a Scream documentary. I said that to myself one day. Before that, I said I'm going to do a Halloween documentary. But let's just take Scream, for example. I said, okay, the Halloween documentary did really well. That gave me a little bit of gusto. So now I'm going to do a Scream documentary, and I'm going to have it set for the week before Scream 6 comes out. I gave myself a deadline. I gave myself 3 months. I hit the deadline. I did it, and I worked my freaking ass off, you know? But it a little bit, and this isn't cocky, but I knew that video was going to do well. I just had a feeling, just because of the work that I put into it. I was like, this is not something I see on YouTube that often, outside of the official Scream documentaries or whatever. And that thing hit 30,000 views before it was taken down. But that's beside the point. My point was, if you plan it, do it. Okay? You got to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, if I post this, then I got to make sure I do it. All right? Because I see it all the time. I see people saying, I want to start a channel, and they never do it, you know? So stick to your word. And it might be tough, and you might be afraid, and you might be scared to take that step, but take the step. Fail. Go ahead and fail, but at least you tried. At least you did it, you know? Okay. So next point, is subscriber count important? That's a real question that you need to ask yourself. Is subscriber count really important? Because, and I can only use myself for an example, but when I started, I said to myself, I would like 1,000 subscribers in, I think I might have said a year. I want to make 1,000 subscribers in a year. And I did, and it was fine. And I didn't know shit back then. But I'll tell you what I've learned. After 9 years, subscriber count's nice, but it's not as important as you think. And I can give you an example of why it's not as important as you think. Because I started a second channel because I needed to realign some things. I was doing my DDLive clips, and I'll clip this out, but they were getting in the way of the algorithm for my normal channel, where I just do new release reviews, catalog reviews, more produced type content. Whereas when I do my DDLive clips, that's more laid back, So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a second channel for my DDLive clips, which I did. I started from zero. And what I noticed very quickly, once that channel started getting some footing, which it has 2,300 subscribers now. My main channel has 56,800 subscribers. That sounds like a great number, right? But if you do the average and you look at my view count for the second channel and the first channel, it's not that far off. It's really not that far off. Now, does it help that I promote my second channel on my main channel? Yes, but that's only going to get you so far. It's all about the algorithm. And if you're consistent and you're putting out, I'd say fresh content, like I try to put any kind of updates. I try to front load any stuff that I put out according to any kind of news updates for horror. Because what I've learned is on the second channel, I was scared that I wasn't going to get the views. Boom, I put out that update for Maxine. It's like almost 4,000 views now. And I had a run there of 4,000, 3,000, 2,000. And this is like what I kind of average on my main channel right now because it's kind of the off season, So if you're starting a channel and you're saying, damn, I don't have 50,000 subscribers, I'm not going to get any views. Not the case. If you're focused and you're consistent and you're doing what I call green content, fresh, updated content about, say you're doing like news stories, brand new news about, say, 28 Days Later or something like that. Yeah, there's a high possibility with very little subscribers you're going to get views, because I literally had a comment the other day on Drumdums Xtra. The guy said I was looking for alien updates. I wanted to get some alien updates for Romulus. He found my video. He didn't even know that I had a main channel for Drumdums. So I got a subscriber on Drumdums Xtra from a guy who's not subscribed to Drumdums. He didn't even know about Drumdums. So, yeah. So subscriber count, it's not as important. And hell, I'll even say this right now. I've seen people with 100,000 subscribers and they barely get any views. I've seen it. So that's another, I guess, bullet topic that I could say right now is that you have to keep it up. Even if you get up to 100, like when I first started, I was like, if I get it to 100,000 subscribers, I don't have to upload content as much. Nope. It'll fall immediately, and sometimes it's hard to get it back up, right? So you have to stay on it. You got to, because in the market these days, and everybody's just like now and go, and they want to get the latest update, and they'll go to another channel before they'll go to yours if they get it out first. So first is a thing in YouTube these days. It really is. So yeah, something to definitely think about. Subscriber count. You can get the views of somebody with 100,000 subscribers if you have 5,000 subscribers. I've seen it. If you are doing what needs to be done, okay? If you're consistent. All right. Next one. Clickbait, but don't cheat. And the reason I say this is because thumbnails are really important, but I can't tell you exactly what you have to do. Like, there's no secret formula for thumbnails, I don't think, because the reason I say that is because I've seen thumbnails where there's no text. It's just a picture, you know? But it could be a picture of something that's really eye-catching, right? Like maybe a character. Like, just to give you an example, I saw this video, Phase 4 of the MCU being cringe for 4 minutes straight. And they had just a funny screen cap of Elizabeth Olsen, you know, as Scarlet Witch. She was making kind of a derp face. And that was it. You can find that video on there right now. I think it's got like a freaking millions of views. So it's a spectrum. You can have that, and then you can have the other end of the spectrum. I guess, like, I'm not saying mine's like great, but I'm saying as far as like, I can sometimes I'll spend a freaking hour on a thumbnail. It like, I get a little bit OCD with it, and I got to have everything just right, and it's got to be layered, and I got to make sure I got the right text on there. And there's no like definite science to it, but that's what works for me. And I feel like if I just put out just a picture with no text, my normal thumbnail, then I don't think I would get the views that I get. I think a thumbnail is part of my package. And plus, I want people to kind of know that it's me. I guess branding. And I think some people, you look at their thumbnail and immediately you're like, oh, they have a brand. I don't know if I'm there yet. That's up to you guys to let me know. If you see my thumbnail, I don't know. Does it look like, if you looked at my thumbnail without my face on it, would you automatically know that it's me? I don't know. But I do try to make my thumbnails pop, you know? And one thing I will tell you, search for reviews or videos that are just like the video that you're putting out. Before you even do the thumbnail, look at all the thumbnails and try to make sure your thumbnail doesn't blend in with somebody else's. Try to make sure, what can I do to make sure my thumbnail really stands apart, you know, from the other, so that way they know it's mine, right? Plus I think this falls in with hard work. I think people notice if you give a shit. You know, this guy right here, he spent 2 seconds on a thumbnail. The video's not really that good. This guy right here, he probably spent an hour on that damn thumbnail. So I'm wagering that his video might not be so bad. Okay? Might not be so bad. All right? It could be the other way. It could be a really shitty video, but I think people are more likely to click on it if it's eye-catching. Okay? But the reason I say clickbait is because this is a whole nother issue right here. Okay? Oh my God. I see this all the time. I'll give you an example. I saw this thumbnail and it had like Sylvester Stallone with somebody else, I can't remember what it was, and a quote. And when you put a quote on a thumbnail, that means that somebody said it, right? And the quote literally said, "Fuck you." You know, probably F with an asterisk or whatever. Like, so, oh my God, did Stallone say "fuck you" to somebody? Like those words? And sure enough, I click on my dumb ass, I click on the video. It's not anywhere in there. And I've seen Other YouTubers, and it works for them, by the way, they post a thumbnail and they post something really, really negative, you know? Like let's just say it's an update about, you know, like a musician or something like that, okay? And they post something like, "This is a complete piece of crap." And I'm like, "Whoa, damn, what are they going to say about this person?" You click on the video, there's nothing like negative really about the quote unquote piece of crap at all. It's all just to get you to click on the video. It works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. After a couple videos, after I give you a shot, then I'm like, okay, every time I click on your video, it's front loaded with like 5 minutes of nothing, and then you're actually not saying what you said on the title and the thumbnail. And it does work though for people. So if you want to go that route, you can. But I think it's a risk for me personally. What I call good clickbait is just something kind of, you know, eye-catching about the specific video, right? I'll even give you an example, another quick example. Like recently, I just did the video about Saw X and how I think other franchises should follow suit with what they do. So all I posted for text, I was, "Do this." That's like one of my most recent videos. Do this. But you don't want to give them everything. You just say, "Do that." Well, do what? What is he saying? What should I do? You know? So just be that's another strategy I've seen a lot of people do. Just be really, really discreet, but I got to know what he's talking about, right? I got to know what he's talking about. So, yeah. I don't like clickbait, though, when it's like just so freaking obvious what they're doing. I don't like that. Okay, next one. I talked too long on that one. Sorry. This is a journey. Patience. I get DMs all the time, constantly, still to this day, from people. Man, I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting any views. I don't understand what I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. And I'll say, "How long have you been doing this?" And they'll say, 3 months. And I'm like, you have nothing to worry about. Okay. You have nothing to worry about if you're not getting views in 3 months. I'm not saying you're going to get views. You still might need to change something up, but it takes patience and it takes a lot of time to get somewhere. But you do, I will say though, even if 3 months, even if you're not getting any views, there's a reason. There's definitely a reason, but I don't think, I always say this, and I've said it in the past. My first year on YouTube, I didn't think about views. I didn't think about any of that stuff. All I wanted to do was hone my craft. I did take it seriously, and I wanted to be a part of the community, and I wanted to just get better at my videos and, you know, target what kind of videos I should be making. And I do see some people, you know, some YouTubers, I know exactly why their channel's not growing, you know, because they might be making the same type of mistake over and over and over and over again. And after a while, it could be obvious, you know, but you really have to just take a step back and take a hard look at, what am I doing? Why is every video and it could be a variety of reasons. I'll give you one reason. Say you want to make a video about Halloween. I want to review all the Halloween movies. And you know what? If that's what you want to do and you don't care about anything else, do it. Have fun. Talk about the Halloween movies. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're just starting, do a search on YouTube and find how many Halloween reviews you see. Okay? Because it's, you know, take your pick, Star Wars. You are competing. And if your goal is to get views, then it's going to be an uphill battle. Because there's 9,000 Halloween reviews out there, you know? That's why I always try to go for deeper cuts. I've been doing deep cuts since I started the channel. One, because I really enjoy talking about movies that nobody's talking about. I don't know what else I could say about Halloween 1. I really don't. I've said it all. I've said everything. I would be afraid to review Halloween right now for the freaking third time. I wouldn't know what to say. And, you know, I thought about re-reviewing Friday and Nightmare. There's a reason I still haven't done it. I don't feel passionate to do it because 9,000 people have reviewed those franchises. I don't know what else I could say that's going to really shock anybody. You know, one of my favorite comments I get is, "Oh my God, I've never heard of this movie. Thank you so much. I love this. And by the way, I'm noticing that you're constantly reviewing movies that I've never heard of before. And that's just really awesome. And now I subscribe to your channel and I constantly look back because I want to see, I know you're going to surprise me. You're going to always give me reviews that, for movies that I've never heard of. I love it. I love it. Don't get me wrong, guys. On my live streams, I find ways to talk about mainstream horror, the big three, because I do enjoy talking about that stuff, but I try to look at it from a different angle. And I'd say if you're dying to talk about Halloween, maybe work on your title. Don't let them know that you're actually reviewing it. Maybe find one little thing in Halloween, say like, did you ever notice at the 47-minute mark, this particular person was in the movie and he really has no business being in there? Work your video around that. Give the audience something that they've never even thought about with how, like Charlie Bowles, there's a connection to Charlie Bowles and Loomis. You know, I'm not saying there is, I'm just being, just giving you an example. But I think if you want to get views, but you really want to talk about Halloween, still review the movie, but title it in a way and kind of veer your review towards what you're titling it. And stand out. That's the big thing. Stand out. Oh my God, I got to check out this. All these guys are talking about pros and cons of Halloween. I've seen all those reviews. I want to see this guy because he's talking about Charlie Bowles. He's got some kind of freaking thing going on with Loomis over there. I don't know what that's about. Let me click on it. Let me see. Boom. There you go. That's what you got to do. I think that's what you got to do. Now, if you're reviewing Alice Sweet Alice, and there's probably not that many reviews, just call it a review. You know, I'm going to review Alice Sweet Alice. There's not 9,000 reviews of that. So I'm just going to have my fun. I'm going to make it mine, but I'm going to review it because I think people might still click on it. Okay. But yeah, I know that didn't really fall in with patience, but I think you know what I mean by patient because I was getting all those messages all the time. It's a marathon with no ending. That's the thing about YouTube. It's a marathon with no ending. That's what I always kind of call it. So it takes constant mental preparation, constantly trying to find ways to keep yourself happy and excited with what you're doing. It can be a real head trip. You know, I call it the YouTube mind fuck. Sometimes it happens, and sometimes maybe you got to take a step back and realign. And and I guess that falls in line with what do you want from this? You know, so if you want to just do this because you're in the moment, you're loving what you're doing. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. Like today, literally, when I was walking around, when I'm doing these live streams, I swear I'll have my phone on me and I'm literally an idea pops in my head. Shit, I got to write that down. I'll write it down. I want to talk about part 4s. And you know what, guys? I can't wait. I can't wait to like sit down with you guys and start talking about part 4s. You know, that's how I get my motivation with this. I make it myself, you know? I don't wait for the videos to come to me. I don't just sit there. Okay, I'm waiting for an idea to come, you know, a video idea that's going to come to me. No, you got to go find it. And for me, it helps if I exercise. It helps if I go for a walk. Ideas just flow into my head when I go for a walk, you know, and it really helps. And I get a lot of ideas from you guys. You'll notice that I constantly post, hey guys, give me some ideas for this. I put it on you guys constantly, all the time. And you guys, you never fail me. You never fail. You always say, hey, I got this, and this for you. And I'm like, shit, hold on. You gave me too many ideas. I love it. Thank you so much. So I thank you guys to death for constantly keeping this fun. You know, I posted on that YouTube post recently. I started it off with, I think I'm happier now than ever. And that's not me trying to, front or anything. I am dead serious. Right now, I feel like I'm happier than I've ever been with YouTube. I'm content. I'm enjoying it. And that's what I want from you guys. I want you guys to be happy with it and don't expect, here's the thing I didn't put on here, but I'll go ahead and say it right now. And I do it. It's hard. It's really hard not to do this, okay? Comparing yourself to others. This might be the number one thing that I struggle with, because there's always somebody out there that's doing it better than you. Always, But what you have to do is really just say, that's them and this is me. And this is my journey, and there's nobody else like me. So you can't constantly just focus on somebody else, because it can really get in your head and it can fuck you up, and you have to pull yourself out of it. And I think you just got to lay out the pros about how your journey's going. I got this going for me. Not too many people are doing this type thing, I don't need the views that she or he has. I'm content with what I got, and I do want to better myself. But and I guarantee you, somebody is thinking that about you. There's probably somebody, if you've been doing this for a long time and you're doing okay, I guarantee you there's somebody below you that's thinking the exact same thing. All right? Let's put it this way. There's a guy right now that probably has 500,000 subscribers. And you know what he is? He's jealous of a guy that has 1 million subscribers. YouTube is a competitive game. And I didn't want it to be that way, but I think competitiveness can be a good thing, because it pushes you, it drives you, it forces you to try harder. So I don't think competitiveness is bad at all, but it can mess with your head if you let it get to you. There's always at least a few other people that are going to have the same. I'm in a Halloween space, okay? I don't just do Halloween purposefully, but there are other Halloween channels, and I guarantee you we all watch each other. You can't get, it's just healthy competition, right? So, yeah. All right. Work hard, no shortcuts. That is probably the most obvious idea I can give you right now. You cannot half-ass this if you want to get somewhere, if you want to build an audience, and it's not going to happen immediately. People will notice if you work hard. People will notice if you pay attention to them. I literally spend, as much time as I can every day answering comments, and not because and that's not even a job for me. I really enjoy getting in. That's the one thing I love doing first thing in the morning. I want to get online. I want to talk to my followers, or just people that watch the video. I want to thank them. And plus I get ideas from a lot of my comments too, but it's a grind. And, there's so many different versions of working hard. That's one of them. The other one is, editing. You really have to try your best to make the edit as good as you can. Because it's easy to lazy edit. And I'm not saying I'm a great editor at all. I didn't know how to edit when I started YouTube. I figured it out on my own. I figured everything out on my own. Just to give you a little tip, if you're just starting and you don't know how to edit, I upgraded to Adobe Premiere, I think 2 years ago. And I didn't know really how to do too much. So instead of stressing myself out with, pulling up a video, how to edit a video from start to finish, and it's an hour-long video. That stressed me out. So what I did was I just sat down, I started editing, and I did what I knew how to do. And then if there was I want to make something slide in, or I want to make this effect happen, I went straight to YouTube. I literally typed in that exact thing. I looked for like a quick 5-minute video, and I found every single time. That's how I taught myself. So it was just like maybe a dozen different videos for me to figure out how to actually edit the way I do. And those are little tricks that I just kind of learned along the way. I have a short attention span, and it's hard for me to, focus for an hour on any video. I like little chunks, and I like learning things in bites. So Chad, for all things horror, he says, I've been doing my channel 8 months and have 224 subs. Is that good? Well, I mean, that's you. It depends on what you want, Chad. Do you want 224 subscribers? I think it's good. I think it's great. I don't measure it that way. I think the big thing is you can't think about numbers. You got to really just be honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I happy? Am I doing what I want to do? I've never thought about YouTube in terms of numbers. That's just not the way I operate. And I'll tell you right now, I'll even say this. If you stop thinking about the numbers, they will come. If you take all that energy that you're investing in numbers and apply it to actually making better content, and I'm not talking about you, Chad, I'm just talking in general. Making the best content I can, being as creative as I can. If you do that instead of worrying about the numbers, I promise you, if you're standing out, the numbers will come, But I see this all the time. I see so many people that just get so focused on the numbers right out the gate. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Eventually down the line, yeah, you're probably going to have to stop and take a look. Okay, where am I at numbers-wise, okay? But, yeah, don't get fixated on that stuff, And like you said, Chad, you said you've had a channel for 8 months. I wouldn't even I'd still, maybe another, after the first year. If that's important to you, if that's important to you, it sounds like you really want the numbers. Stop worrying about the numbers. I think that's how the numbers will eventually come. Okay. But you have to self-analyze yourself. Please allow myself to introduce myself. Yeah, Brett, you build it, they will come. They will come. I will tell you this. I'll say this right now. It's never too late to quote unquote get it right. I have seen channels because I watch a lot of different type. I don't just watch my type of content. I watch tons of YouTube content, and I do watch a lot of. And Chad, this is another thing I will tell you right now. Search out YouTube tips. There's tons of great channels like Think Media. And they give some of the best advice. And I've literally spent hours just going through their videos. And I always find something, a little nugget. That I'm like, oh shit, I didn't think about that. One of them, I'll give you an example. One of them that I found was on Think Media. He was talking about how he would batch record. This was back when I first, my first couple of years in. And I was like, oh, what is that, batch recording? And he would record for, say, 3 videos, he has 3 different videos that he wants to do, and he's on a time crunch, and it takes a lot of preparation to set everything up to record. So, hey, why don't I batch record, and I'll record, 3 videos, 4 videos, whatever, and I'll have a separate group of shirts out, and I'll change my shirt between, and I did that. But I tell you, that saved me so much time. Like on Sundays, I'll do a lot of batch recording, and I've recorded 5 videos in a day before. And boy, let me tell you, that's not easy, but it's nice that you have to set everything up one time. You do all your videos, then you get to turn all your lights. Because it takes me 15 minutes just to set everything up in here. So, yeah. Search out YouTube tips. Type in, if you, why do I have enough subscribers? Type in that right now. Why am I not getting subscribers? And I guarantee you'll find 10 different answers, Okay. Let's see. Next topic is schedule versus no schedule. This, I see people that have schedules. I see people that have no schedule whatsoever. I can give you 2 examples of very successful YouTubers. One of them has a schedule. One of them doesn't have a schedule right now. Okay. Sean Chandler. Sean Chandler has a rigorous schedule that he goes by. It works for him, and he'll even show you this. Hey guys, this is what I got coming for the week. Boom. It's awesome. So you know exactly what's coming, but that works for him, and it keeps him focused, and it keeps him moving forward. So I think it's important to have something in front of you. Now, on the flip side of that, you have what I call reactionary channels. Rick Beato, he's a music YouTuber, and he has like, I think he's got like 3 million subscribers now. And I watched a video of his recently, and he said he's never schedules anything. He never releases a video at a certain time of day. He does the video, he puts it out as soon as it's done. And that's the way I've always done it. That's always worked for me, just because I don't like setting up scheduled times for videos to go out. I like, because it's just like, I can't wait to get it out. As soon as I'm done with it, sometimes I've worked on this damn thing for freaking 3 days. I just want to get it out. And what I've noticed is I can put it out at any time of day, and it usually does the same. Like if I put it out, like say first thing in the morning, it's going to start off a little sluggish than it usually would, like if I put it out in the afternoon. But I guarantee you, by the end of the day, it catches up with itself. I've noticed that. If it's a video that people want to watch, they're going to watch it. I've noticed that. You know, and you guys are the same way. When you're watching your YouTube feed and you see videos from your favorite YouTubers, or you see just something that catches your eye, do you check what time that video was released, or do you click on it immediately? Right? That's what I do. Yeah, so I found that if I put it out, it will find the audience. It will eventually get there. And to even give you a better example, I do some videos that they seem to have a shelf life of almost forever. Certain reviews that I've done, like Alice Sweet Alice, that review started off sluggish. It wasn't getting crazy traction. And I think last I checked, it's like 25,000 subscribers, something like that. And I put that review out probably back in 2018. I have so many reviews, videos like that still just constantly get views. Those deep cuts. People just love those deep cuts. The Uninvited, that remake of Tale of Two Sisters, and that still constantly gets views, you know. So it's nice to kind of build a little back catalog of, I call them like rainy day videos. They're always going to work for you, you know. They're going to keep going. Whereas if you're wanting videos to have a shelf life and keep going, I see some channels that all they do is live stream. You know, they maybe it's time, maybe they don't have the time to edit. So they just pretty much do a live stream, you know, like a watch party of something, or maybe they do like horror updates or whatever like that, but that's all they do. And if that's what they want to do, if that's what makes them happy, then that's fine. But if they're just live streaming and they're wondering, why am I not going further? That might be the reason why. Maybe you need to shift, you know, maybe you need to start thinking about producing content that has a shelf life that people are going to constantly come back to, you know? So next one, and I know I've been too long on this, guys, I apologize, but I figured I'd give you one video covering it all. So that way I can anybody that asks me in the future, I can give them this video. Here, check this out. It's a good long video, and I'll tell you everything. Right now I've been talking way too long. I apologize, but that's okay. That's okay. Just being you, this is a controversial one right here, okay? Because I always see people say, be you, because there's only one you, and that's true. But sometimes, I'd say most of the time, just being you isn't enough. I think you have to find a niche these days. There's so much competition out there in YouTube right now. I started 9 years ago, and I'll say right now, it was a smaller landscape than it is now. It's a massive landscape now. And you can be you, and that's great, but you still got to work hard. There's probably a lot of other channels that are just like you. So you have to do something to stick out. And I can't tell you what that is. You have to figure it out yourself. But just being you, maybe you need to be somebody else. I don't know. You know, I don't know. Look at yourself. Is your delivery in your videos, you know, you're just kind of talking like this. Hey guys, I want to tell you about Friday the 13th, part 3. Really love this movie. I think it's great. You know, I call it editing myself, and also just projection. You have to talk like this, not loud, but you have to make sure that audience knows that you're passionate about what you're talking about. Oh my God, Friday the 13th Part 3. Man, I was literally on one of those sofa hide-a-beds, 10 years old, got my freaking eyes just covered. The scene where Jason like squeezes the guy's head and it pops it right, You see what I'm doing there? I'm making it personal. I'm giving you a story about that's being you. Not just the technical aspects of it, right? The cinematography in this movie, how he used that dolly shot when it came around. No. You gotta make it personal. You gotta make it relatable, and you gotta seem like you're passionate about it. And you might have to work on that, Some people, it's not there at the beginning. It wasn't for me. Guys, watch my first video. You will say to yourself, God damn, holy shit. If he can do it, I can do it. Anybody can do it. Because my first video, I was scared to death. To death. Okay? And there was a question. I'll go ahead and field it right now. How do you overcome the fear of looking into a camera? And that takes time. And it's for some people, they're naturals and they get it within like the first couple of times. And some people, it could take a year. I don't know. I'll tell you this right now. If you watch my first year of YouTube and you watch this year, my first year and my 9th year, I think it's two completely different people. It took patience and it took time. There's no secret quick fix to make yourself presentable on camera. It's just not. And it's weird as shit when you first start. When you look in that camera, it's scary. It was for me anyway. Some people, like I said, they're naturals. They have a history of public speaking, so they kind of just carry that into the thing. But I didn't have a long history of public speaking when I started YouTube. I took some college classes on public speaking, but even still, talking in front of a crowd, a lecture, and talking in front of a camera when there's nobody there, it's weird. It's definitely weird. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, and then the last one, change, reset is good. It can be good. Like I said, I think I said this earlier. I saw this one channel, which was very successful, actually. And they had, I think they had like 100,000 subscribers. But then they just kind of went, they died. Their channel died. So, but they literally said that they had, I think, like 9 different YouTube channels. They have stopped and started that many times. But they kept doing it because they enjoyed doing it. But they had an idea for a niche. And they thought, what I'm doing right now on this channel, it's not going to work for the niche that I'm wanting to do. So they just started over. And that's crazy to think a channel with 100,000 subscribers they don't make a second channel. They give it up. That channel's gone. I'm going to start a brand new channel. And they've done it like multiple times. I've seen a couple people do that. And to talk a little bit about mental health and what YouTube can do to you, I've seen videos where this one girl, she's literally sitting in her room. She's like, oh my God, I achieved all the goals I wanted to. I made over 100,000 subscribers, but I have never been so unhappy in my entire life. That was an actual video that I saw, and I felt so bad for her. But now, after 9 years, I get it. Happiness is not numbers. Happiness is not 100,000 subscribers or even 50,000 subscribers. Happiness is in here. And it could be with freaking no subscribers. You always have to work on your mental health, and you always have to find balance with what you do. And you have to always practice self-analysis. And I suffered quite a bit there with balance. And, there were quite a few moments, in my first few years of YouTube where I put my family second. And that's a hard thing to admit, but you get so caught up in catching that rabbit and, achieving that goal, and it becomes an addiction. This is kind of the dark side of YouTube. But I was there. I was addicted to YouTube at one time, and I would stay up late at night, and I would come to bed at like freaking 1 o'clock in the morning to a wife that was angry. And I didn't plan on talking about this part, but you know what? I'll share it all. I'll be as real as I can with you guys. At that point, it didn't matter how many subscribers I had. I fucked up. My life was at probably an all-time low because I put too much time in one basket, in the YouTube basket. And so eventually, sometime down the line, I was able to step back and get help and realign myself. And now, I think it did help to get a job that I enjoy now, but now I look forward to my family time. I always put my family first. And that's why I was telling you, I do YouTube on certain days when my wife's at work. I have a rule with her. I say, when you're home, I stop. I've literally been, I probably had like maybe 30 minutes of editing to do. And this video could go out. I've stopped the video. It's not that important. I can put this video out tomorrow. It's not that big a deal. At the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. So, and I've found that I'm just so much happier now, right? So, yeah. I hope that helped you guys. There were a couple of questions on here that I will field just in case. If I covered it, I won't do it. But yeah. So Davey Dethray, he says, inspiration for Yearsley. You were instrumental in me finally getting off my butt and getting my channel going. I feel confident in my content, but I struggle to promote my vids successfully. Is there a time of day you aim to drop your vids or share it on your socials? No, and I did answer this. Basically, when they're done, I put them out. Unless there's an embargo. If there's an embargo, then I abide by the embargo. But other than that, no. I put them right out, and I usually share them on my socials right after. As soon as I put them out, I'll share them on freaking Twitter first, and I'll share them on Facebook and on Instagram. Those are the three things I do. Now, as far as like the science of it, does that work? I've heard some people say don't promote your video. Just let the algorithm do its thing. And I've tried that a couple times, and I will admit the views were pretty much the same. I don't really think I necessarily needed to promote that video. But I'll say this, when you're starting out and nobody knows about. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back. Let me know if guys, let me know if we're back. Okay? Let me know if we're back. Okay, we are back. Okay, cool. Jesus. All right. All right, next one. I'm going to run through these real quick, all right? Real quick. This is Chris. He says, when you get stuck in a slump in terms of not much activity or engagement happening, what are some ways to break free of that and get things going again? I think you got to be self-aware of what the current trends are in YouTube. I think you got to maybe realign a little bit, and it's a tough answer, Chris, to be honest, to figure out exactly, but what you're doing, and I'm not talking about you, Chris, but I'm just talking in general. If you're in a slump and nothing's working, then I think you need to change. Something's got to change, And I think what I always do, and this isn't the be all end all answer, I give myself a challenge. That's what I do. If I'm in a slump and I feel like, okay, I need to put out something that's going to get some views, I stop and I think, okay, I need to really give myself a challenge, something that's going to take me some time and effort to do. And I'm going to work on that and maybe challenge myself. Maybe something I've never done before. But what I'm doing right now is not working. So I have to completely sidestep, and I need to surprise everybody. Holy shit. That Chris is doing that? He's going to... And you know what, Chris? I can give you a great example. Firsthand, I've seen it. This is recent. Nick from Lost River Drive-In. Nick started this brand new series where he talked about every Halloween proposed script or whatever was going on. And he put out one of those videos, and it just, he found it. Something clicked. He got some really good views off of it. So he was like, oh shit, I'm going to do that now I'm going to do Halloween 2. If there's a proposed script, the High Rise movie, Halloween 5. And I think he has like half a dozen of those videos out now, and all of them are doing really well. And these are videos that Nick never really did before. So I immediately went to his comments like, dude, nailing it. Great job, you know? I was so proud of him. And I think that's what you got to do, Chris. I think you got to stop and say, I'm going to do something now that nobody has seen before. I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to just really kick ass and surprise everybody. I think that's what you got to do. But if you keep doing the same exact thing, and that is it's making you unhappy because it's not achieving the goals that you want, you need to stop it and you need to readjust. You know, I think that's the hard truth for you there, Chris. Okay, next one. And Christian, Jesus, Christian's doing freaking phenomenal now. Recently, I noticed he's been doing a lot of these shorts, and I click on them every time because they're so damn interesting. Shorts are huge right now, and I think he's finding his niche there. But he says, "How do you feel? How do you get past feeling like you've hit a glass ceiling?" I struggle with that sometimes. You know, he's preaching to the choir because I struggle with that too. What's the next level? I can't like I think back when I started, I was getting I was lucky to get 100 views when I started. And you get used to a certain number of views, and you know, now I'd say for like new release reviews, when my press screenings and whatnot, those do really well. And sometimes I can get even up to like 10,000 views on those sometimes. But I'm still always thinking that how do I get to that next step? How do I get to an average of, okay, now I'm getting 10,000 views every video? That's where I'm struggling. That's where I'm trying, and I'm trying to figure that out, you know, but I'm not letting it stress me out. But I think that's what Christian's got to do there. I think he's got to figure out, okay, guys, can you hear me? I'm back. Can you hear me? Let me refresh. Hold on. I think we're back. Okay, yeah, I think we're back. Okay. I connected my LAN cable. I got fed up with the tomfoolery. Okay. All right, so let me make sure I'm still rolling on the... Yeah, so let me fix that real quick. Hold on just a sec, guys. I'm going to fix the chat. fixing the chat. Here we go. Hold on. That's weird. For some reason, my chat isn't updating on the thing. That's so weird. What the hell is going on? Let me try this again. Hold on. Is there a way to reset it? I don't know. That is so weird. It's not letting me update my chat. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. I got to figure this out. Hold on. It's going to drive me nuts. Let me see. Okay, I think we got it. Thank you guys for your patience. I should have freaking hooked up my LAN cable anyway. But that's all right. Okay. I'm you know what? I'm guessing I'm not going to talk anymore about the YouTube stuff. I think I answered all the questions. I'll say for those that ask questions on YouTube, if there's something that I didn't really go over that you're still kind of confused about, feel free to message me offline, and I'm happy to answer. You know, send me an email, whatever. Okay, because I don't want to waste too much of my audience's time. All right. Do you guys want to do funnies? I think we need to do some funnies. All right. Let me take a drink. Jesus, man, it's freaking 8:20 already. Jesus. Okay, yeah, we'll do funnies. Here we go. All right, funnies time. Here we go. All right. Why not start it off with a picture of me from 1985? Okay, how's that for a narcissist? Okay. All right. Okay, let's go for. I just want someone to look at me the way Nanny looks at Damien. Right? With the noose around her neck. I need to watch those. Jason was telling me you need to check out the first three. Are the first three Omen movies like really good, guys? Okay. I need to definitely give those a shot. All right. I don't even remember the first one that much. You know. I was thinking about Carrie recently. Man, I freaking I just up because I said, hey, Killer Flicks, let me know what the cover photo you want me to put up. And somebody posted a picture from Carrie. And every time somebody does anything from Carrie, I'm just like, yep, I love Carrie. That's like Brian De Palma is a freaking genius. Yeah. Exclusive yeah, channel member, man. I saw a couple channel members earlier too. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. We're at 9 channel members, guys, okay? We're almost at 10. It's gonna happen. I just feel it. I feel it. It's great though. Okay? And you get your little your screen name all in green there. It's gonna look nice. It looks real nice and sexy. Okay? All right, next one. This one's called Best Myers. Best Myers. I I cross out any names. I will say the guy's. I've seen his Twitter handle. Really cool guy. Everybody, I'm not knocking anybody that likes H2O. H2O has its fans. Every Halloween movie has its fans, and I think it's great. But his list here, best Laurie Strode, which I agree with. I think that's a safe bet. I think Laurie Strode in H2O is maybe her best. Okay, I'll definitely give you that. All right. Best written script. I don't know about that. Okay. But you know what? Again, I'm not saying every Halloween script is a freaking masterpiece, okay? Walt Whitman did not write these scripts. But yeah, as far as like character dialogue and all that, it was 90s. It definitely fit the 90s. So I'm not going to knock you if you think it's got the best script, all right? Here we go. Best Michael Myers. Jesus freaking Christ. Are you kidding me? Even if you love H2O, if it's your favorite freaking movie of the franchise, do you really think that's the best Michael Myers out of the whole group? Now, I will say, in their defense, if people like that, they think that's the best Michael Myers, automatically they're saying it's better than Nick Castle. To be fair, I think Chris Duran's Michael was trying to emulate maybe some of the movements of Nick Castle more so than like say, Don Shanks or George P. Wilbur. I'd say James G. Courtney. I think he took heavily from Nick Castle and Dick Warlock. It was a mixture of Nick and Dick. But yeah, to say that Myers is the best. Oh my God, there were 4 masks. You see the freaking eyes in there, which is annoying. I hate the freaking pigeon-toed walk. That Myers just looks lost to me. Okay, just looks lost. I can't deal. All right. I love your opinions. I love you for thinking it. It's great. I have my own crazy opinions that you guys would probably throw tomatoes at me for. Okay, I'm just having fun here. All right, but that's what got me. Best Michael Myers. Jesus. Yeah, and I don't need to read the rest. He's right. He's right on the rest, okay? Best group of kids? Guys, help me out on that one. Is it the best group of kids? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I like Lori, Annie, and Linda, but then I also really love Rachel and Jamie and Kelly Meeker. If I have to say the best group ensemble cast, I got to go 4. I think 4 has the best ensemble cast. What do you guys think? And I can't. Even with the last one, best chase in the franchise. No way. There's no way that's the best chase in the franchise. I'd say it's maybe the best ending in the franchise when she chops his head off. But getting to there, it was pretty much, just a few steps here, a few steps there. It was just really quick, I think, a little sanitized. So it's not the worst final chase. I think the final chase in Rob Zombie's Halloween might. No, Resurrection's probably got the worst final chase. Would you guys agree with that? I think it probably does. This is for all of them. Yeah. Okay. Next one. This one's called DNA Brother. DNA Brother. All right. The DNA results confirm that not everyone is your brother. Come on, brother. Make sure you take your vitamins and say your prayers. I grew up on Hulk Hogan. I can make fun of him. All right. I remember when back in the 80s, Hulk Hogan just ruled with the WWF. And he rips his shirt, Hulk was the man. Okay. I might have another Hulk one on here too. This next one's called Dream Warriors. I'm not taking the bait. I think this was bait. Just got this one recently, actually, today. And at first I thought, but guys, tell me, because maybe I don't know. Is he messing with me here? Let me read it, all right? It says, hey, Lee, love the channel, but I've never seen a Halloween movie. That's possible. I'm wondering what a good entry point is. It's a fair question. My buddy says I should watch Halloween Ends first so that way I won't care about the characters and find any of them likable. I'm not sure what he means by that. I'm not taking that bait. All right? So I told him start with Dream Warriors. Start with Dream Warriors, work your way out. Okay? I think that's how you should do it. Okay? All right. Next one. Guys, was he baiting me? Do you guys think he was baiting me? Or do you think that was a legit question? I don't know. I'm not saying everybody's seen at least one Halloween movie. But he threw Halloween Ends in there. And I feel like he's baiting me. Okay? What's up, Airborne Rocker? All right. All right, next one. This is just some Gee Whiz news that I saw. It's nothing like, groundbreaking or anything like that. But Hayden Panettiere, silence on Melissa Barrera, scream firing, very unfair and upsetting. What a shocker. I think everybody's team Melissa Barrera at this point. I do think I'm going to make a prediction right now, okay? And I could be way off on this, but I'm going to make a prediction. I think they're going to get Melissa Barrera back. I wasn't thinking that, about a month ago, but now, after all, everybody's team Melissa Barrera now, including most of the cast. You had Mindy, the actress that plays Mindy, saying that they haven't even talked to her yet. So I think they're trying to sort some shit out right now. And I think they want her to come back really bad. Now, like Exclusive saying there, she shouldn't go back. I think you're right. But I don't hold a grudge against the franchise. I just hold a grudge against the dipshit that had that knee-jerk reaction. I'm not going to be upset if Melissa Barrera comes back. And I don't even think she's like going against her principles if she comes back for the right reasons. I think if everybody sits around a table and maybe an apology is made, and it's all business at the end of the day, right? So I wouldn't be like upset, and I wouldn't like ban Scream if she came back. I think people love this. Nev Campbell even said this. The fans love the franchise. Don't take it out on the franchise itself. And it would be cool if she did come back and they could finish the story, because they did leave it open for another movie. So my prediction right now, I think, and it might not be for another 2 years, but I honestly think they're going to get her back. That's what I think. Okay. Because what else do they do? Where do they go? Do they reset Scream? That's a gamble. That's a heavy gamble. And here's the thing too. I think it makes logical sense, the best sense for them to get her back, because then everybody's happy. Whereas if you don't get her back, you're going to have fans, Melissa Barrera fans, that are going to boycott Scream. Some of them. Some of them are saying they're going to boycott, but they'll be there opening day. But I do think you're going to have, you're going to lose some of your audience, I think. I think they need to smooth this shit over, and they need to try to get her back in there. I think that's the best outcome. Okay. Carly says, she seems to be strong in her principles. I think it would take a lot for her to want to come back if they did. I think it would take Nev Campbell being in the room with her. I think that's not only necessary, but pivotal. I think they need Nev Campbell to be in there as kind of a middle woman. And I think that would really, because Nev Campbell's got a lot of power in the franchise, I think. So, yeah, I would love for her to come back. I would, because again, I don't know what they do if they don't get her back. They need this next Scream movie to follow suit and be great, because the last one, the box office was really good. It was really good. So, yeah, I think, didn't they even have like the best box office for the last Scream? I don't know. Exclusive said, I just wish the franchise went to another studio now. I think in a perfect world, I wouldn't mind if that guy freaking stepped down from Spyglass. You know, because I think it's one dude that jumped the gun. So I think he either needs to step down or they need to have some kind of come to Jesus meeting with him. You know? Kind of like Stallone said, I'm not coming back to the Creed franchise, Rocky franchise, unless he's gone, Erwin Winkler. So I think they would have to like somehow get in a room to make that happen. I don't know. So, yeah. But anyway, next one, and Hulk brother, here we go. Can't believe I got to meet the great Hulk Hogan. Thanks again, Hulk. Take a good look at that guy, okay? And then the real Hulk Hogan says, let me tell you something, brother. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next one. I'm going to go MJ Trash. MJ Trash. All right, here we go. I had an MJ one on last time too. You're trash, you hear me? And you're always gonna be trash. And I gotta move this up because it's hey Mr. Watson, lay off her. After all, you've had a long day at work. I'll take over from here. Hey MJ, did you hear your dad? He said you're trash. That's mean-spirited. But if any MJ or love interest in the Spider-Man universe deserves it, it's her, because she didn't help him at all. Okay? Okay. This one's called School Zone Motherfucker. All right, here we go. School Zone Motherfucker. Sometimes it's just literal, okay? I'll give you straight up the punchline. School Zone MF. And she says School Zone Monday through Friday. And then, yeah. So there you go. All right. Guys, oh my God. The Taylor Swift AI has just gotten so freaking out of hand. And, man, I tell you, this AI, it's getting scary, right? It's getting scary. I'm going to give you an exclusive Taylor Swift AI, okay? You ready for this? Here you go. You're going to be shocked when you see this. It's insane, all right? But, yeah. So, isn't that crazy? AI. It's something else. What's up, buddy? All right. Yeah. Mega Cat is sick of Swift. Maybe I think Taylor Swift is sick of Swift, if I'm being honest. She can't help it. I mean, it's Mega Cat, you should be sick of the world, not sick of Taylor Swift. Because I think she's probably as big as, like, say, Michael Jackson was back in the day. And a lot of my younger viewers don't remember this, but man, Michael Jackson was like untouchable. And I think if you had the freaking internet back then with Michael Jackson, man, who knows? It could have been crazy. It could have been crazy. Shelby says she can't with me. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. All right, next one. This one's called The Roof is on Fire. The Roof is on Fire, okay? Here you go. Say goodbye to the roof of your mouth starter pack, all right? And guys, tell me if there's any of these that you haven't experienced yet. And I can tell you right now, I can say hot chocolate. Yes, I've burned the roof of my mouth. Ruffles, potato chips, definitely. Toast, yes. And especially Captain Crunch. Jesus. Torture. Okay? All right. Shout out to Mims, by the way. Mims in the mod chat. Oh my God, he shares some of the best freaking funnies. Okay, this one's called Underrated Badass. Watching Gremlins, fair enough. Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley are right up there as a badass movie women. But let's not forget Mrs. Peltzer absolutely annihilating a kitchen full of gremlins. And how does this go unnoticed? She freaking cooked fools, like literally, I guess, in Gremlins. I think she had like 2 or 3 of them things coming at her too. She was badass, right? Carly gets it. Yeah, loved it. Nobody ever talks about her though, you know. I don't know. You know, if you really think about it, look at her. She looks kind of like Ripley from Aliens. Okay. Let me see. Is that all for the funnies? Yeah. Quickly, I will talk about this real quick because I always do like a series called "The Death of Physical Media." I've had people get mad at me because I call it that. How dare you? And I guess that ties into what I was talking about clickbait. And you got to have a little bit of truth in your statement. And the death of physical media, what I meant was the death of physical media at Best Buy. Okay? Yeah, it's going to be a while before physical media completely phases out, if at all, which I don't think it's going to ever phase out fully. But I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to give you guys some good news for a change. Okay? Some good news. Because everybody does bitch at me about, Lee, why are you giving us such bad news about physical media? It's not that bad, man. Chill out. You walk into a Best Buy, okay? I'm just being honest with you guys, all right? But I did hear some reports that Walmart is stepping up their game, and they're getting steel books and whatnot. And so, you know what? I did some homework today. I thought about you guys. I literally went to Walmart and I took pictures of the physical media section. Okay? I did this for you guys. Are you ready for this? That way you can tell me, Lee, you're full of shit. You see, look at all that variety that they got at Walmart. Okay? It's amazing. How dare you, Lee? How dare you? Okay? So here you go. I'm going to eat my crow right now. All right? I got 4 pictures for you. Okay? I'm going to show them one at a time. All right? Just to be fair. All right. So there's the first picture. It looks like they got some 4Ks and, you got some, newer movies there. Walmart always has their like exclusive slipcovers. So you got that. Next one, there's the front display. That's my Walmart. Okay, your Walmart, guys, let me know too. Does your Walmart look different than my Walmart? Okay, but the front display, it looks like I don't know, like white trash teeth. I don't know. Okay, and then the next one, some of the usuals, Barbie, saw new releases. So you got some new releases there. And that's it. That's all of the physical media that I saw at Walmart. Okay, is it less than what it was? I think so. Maybe a little less. No steelbooks, like everybody's saying. It just, I don't know. I think it looked kind of sad, but at least they're still offering physical media. But Evil Monsterism, he says his Walmart is slightly larger physical media section. So that's good. And this is just a timestamp, But who knows, a year from now, 6 months from now, Walmart could up their game and they could have a massive, massive physical media upgrade. Now, I will say, though, I still haven't found a link. Like, I've been begging people, can you give me a link to some kind of story that states that Walmart said they're going to up their physical media? Because I still haven't seen it. So I need to see that. All right. But right now I just don't know. I don't see any kind of steelbook selection there. There's really nothing there that gets me excited. Right. Like, I don't see any kind of like old deep cut type Blu-rays or even 4Ks. Any 4Ks that you get at Walmart are pretty much new releases or new 4K, like say if it's a higher profile title, like say Predator or Terminator 2, or you might find something like that there. But I don't feel like physical media it's saved. I'm not running to the top of the mountain. Sorry guys. I'm not running to the top of the mountain and just thinking, everything's back to normal. It's just not that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get over to give me your favorite part 4s, and it doesn't have to be horror. It could be horror, it could be non-horror, whatever. This is going to be a fun list we're going to go through, okay? Your favorite part 4s. All right, so let me get rid of this. All right, and let me get rid of this. Okay, and then let me give you that. Okay, best 4th movie. Now, the rules here, it doesn't have to be, it just needs to be the 4th movie released, okay? So if the fourth movie released in the franchise is, say, a remake, or something, then it can still count. Right? It doesn't have to be a movie that literally takes place after part 3. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm already seeing some. What's up, Brooke? How are you doing? Brooke, you arrived precisely when you needed to. Okay. So Halloween 4, Scream 4, Friday Final Chapter. There was one thing I was going to say about Scream. Actually, do I have it here? About Scream 4. I actually have a little update about Scream 4. Here we go. I'll start it with this, okay? Did you guys see this? Beyond the Mask reports Scream 4 4K release is in the works with the removal of the Vaseline filter currently underway. And if you don't know what that is, this is something that has always irked me because for a while, Scream 4 was my second favorite of the franchise. And it's probably still like my third favorite. I love Scream 4. But that damn Vaseline yellow filter has always drove me nuts. It just looks really weird and it's artificial. It just looks strange. And but I always thought there's no way in hell we'll ever get a Scream 4 that looks like the other Scream movies. Because I would say the Scream movies 1 through 3 and 5 and 6, they have kind of a consistent look as far as like the cinematography goes. But here's 4 like sticking out like a sore thumb. So lo and behold, it's almost like the producer's cut of Halloween that we never thought we'd get. Okay. So I guess they found the original camera negative and they're able to remove the filter. Removal of the Vaseline filter is currently underway. I'm wondering, there must be like a special tool because you can't just go into your settings and adjust the contrast and the brightness and, the color timing and all that. That Vaseline filter, that's a filter. There's some, to properly remove that, you got to have some kind of special tool, I think. So, but man, if we can get a version, I'll tell you right now, I don't even need the filtered version. Okay, and I know that's like not a good thing. Like a lot of you guys are gonna be, no, I want both versions on my 4K, and you're probably right. But for me, I can watch the filtered version on my Blu-ray and be just fine. Okay, just give me the 4K with the no filter. And I will shut up in color. I'll be happy. But man, to be able to watch that and it would just feel more cohesive with the rest of the franchise, I love that idea of not having that. And I think that filter, it's more evident in some scenes than others, but especially in like the freaking barn dance, the barn party scene. Not dance, but yeah, when they're showing the stab movies. Man, that scene, it looks like there's just a yellow filter covering the screen. Okay? So, yeah. All right. So, anyway, enough about that. Dave Vanderhoff, what's up, brother? That is used to make the older people look younger, just like Orphan First Kill. That's another thing I don't like, too, is when you see an obvious person that's in, like, say, their 50s and up, and they come on the screen, and you can tell that they put some kind of maybe de-aging on them or something like that. That's annoying to me, too. Okay. All right. So, anyway, with that out of the way, now we can get on with part 4s. Okay? And I might have some surprises in here for you. All right. By the way, no particular order. And by the way, I say by the way too much. I clip these. I call them live top 10s, live rankings, whatever. Even though I do edit them after, I don't like to, like if there's like a space gap, I cut that out. Sometimes I cut out my ands and my uhs, but I still try to make it feel conversational. Well, I did have a commenter. He was like, take a drink every time he says okay. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah. But you can get pissed about that, or you can say, you know what, I'm gonna try not to say okay as much. Okay. So yeah. But anyway, so best 4th movie, no particular order in these. I'm not gonna give you my number 1 favorite 4th movie. I'm just gonna go through the list. All right. Go through the list. All right. So first one, Live Free or Die Hard. Let me fix my OCD here. That's gonna drive me nuts. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, let me move that down just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, all right? Because I got my OCD going, all right? Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard. Man, this was a really fun entry in the franchise, and I know a lot of people, they got upset because it was not rated R, because we always like the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker. And there is a rated R version where he does say it, and I think that is, it's nicer to have that in the movie, but that aside, I think Live Free or Die Hard is such a fun movie. Lynn Wiseman directed it, and it's high octane energy. It's got really great stunts. You got Justin Long in there as a really great side character. He's just really fun. And I think John McClane, he suits his age because I have heard some people complain that he's not as wild and crazy and spunky as he is in, say, the first 3 Die Hard movies. But I think given his age, I'll say right now, I've calmed down a little bit, if you can believe that, in my older age. I'm 50 this year. I would like to think that I was a little bit more energetic and crazy back in, like, say, my 20s and 30s. So I think it fits the character. But part 4 is really, really, really freaking fun. I like it. Do you guys like it? Let me know if you guys don't like this movie or not, okay? And by the way, if I don't like the part 4, it's not going on the list, okay? I only put movies that I really like on here, all right? So I'm trying to think, like, what's one that I definitely did not want to put on here because I thought it was horrible. I'm trying to think, but nothing happens. I can't. Damn. I know there was a few I was just like, nope, that was not going on there. No way in hell. Like Jeepers Creepers 4, right? That one would not go on here. All right. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. The Final Destination, which is funny enough, I have a decent time with it, but I think it's the lowest budgeted looking movie. I don't know if it is the lowest budget, but man, it feels like a B movie. And then you got the last one. The part 5 is great. They upped the budget. It looks fantastic. It's got, like, probably the best twist out of the entire franchise. Is that one called The Final Destination? I get confused because you got Final Destination 3 and then they start putting away the numbers. What is Final Destination 4 called? Holly, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Oh, Jaws 4. There you go, Holly. Didn't quite make the list. Okay? Maybe it's called Final Destination 4. All right. Titanic Part 4, Horror and Coffee. There you go. As long as Titanic is, it's long enough to have a Part 4. All right. Next one. All right, where are we at? Where did I go? Oh, did I go from the bottom? See, this is the space that I would cut out. Okay, here we go. All right, taking that off. All right, next one. Again, no particular order. Bride of Chucky. Just a really fun Chucky movie. I think they switched gears a little bit tonally for this one. And it seems like the 4th movie they got to add something new to the franchise, right? For the first 3, we keep it, but then we got to add something new to keep the audience interest, right? And so then for this one, they add Tiffany, which was a genius stroke. And Tiffany's, she's like the yin to Chucky's yang, and she constantly tests him and drives him crazy. And Jennifer Tilly, this is her first movie in the franchise, and she's very, very sexy. And this one's just so fun. It's got a damn good soundtrack. I like Chucky with his face all like scarred up and everything. What more can I say about Bride of Chucky? It's really, it feels different than the first 3 movies tonally. Wasn't Bride of Chucky it's still Universal, right? Yeah, I think they're all Universal, but you know what I mean though? This one just feels a little different than the previous 3 tonally. Not too much. It's still got, they're still core comedies, but I think you know what I mean. I think it was a big step up from 3. 3's definitely not one of my favorites. It does have Don't Fuck with the Chuck, though, which is great. But, yeah. Who the fuck is Martha Stewart? Exactly. I think it has a lot of great Chucky lines in it. And then you have the love scene between Chucky and Tiffany. So, yeah. All right. Next one. Guys, tell me what that movie is. Can anybody tell me what that movie is? I just reviewed most of these movies. I still got to review part 2. That's another YouTube tip. I need to finish what I started, okay? I'm critiquing myself now, all right? I still, for some reason, I start panicking when I get to the last movie in a franchise. I don't know why. And something like keeps me from doing it. But, so I haven't done Wrong Turn 2, but I always hear that 2's like probably one of the best. So I need to watch it. But right now, as it stands, Part 4 is my favorite Wrong Turn movie. I think it is gold. I think it's got a fresh new setting in the snow. The kills are gory as hell. I love the characters in this. It doesn't like reinvent the wheel or anything for Wrong Turn. But I think it's fresh and new because it's set in the snow, and I just like the characters, and I love the inventiveness of the kills. Really fun movie, Wrong Turn 4, and I think it has one of the best twists. Like, it's not really a twist, but it's an unexpected ending. Okay, it's one of those, like I was talking about in my recent review of The Baby. It's one of those, they pull the rug out from under you. Kind of like that at the end of the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that you can't buy on physical media at the moment, right? It's kind of like that ending. I don't want to spoil it just in case you haven't seen it, but man, it's a fun ending for sure. So, yeah. Lance Chafin, Texas Chainsaw, The Next Generation. Yeah, that's one that didn't make it. It didn't make the run. It didn't make the cut. Even though I love Matthew McConaughey in that movie, he is the saving grace of it, but man, I think I've only watched it all the way through once. It's a tough watch. It really is. So, all right. Next one. Man, I love this one. Sudden Impact. I didn't know that Sudden Impact was the 4th movie, but I did my research, and sure enough, it is the 4th movie in the Dirty Harry. And I haven't even seen all the Dirty Harry movies. This was a timing thing, because this movie came out when I want to say maybe like 12, something like that. I can't remember exactly when it came out. Maybe I was younger, but I remember seeing it on HBO, and I think it's the first Dirty Harry movie that I'd ever seen. And man, I loved it. And because it was called Sudden Impact, I didn't even know that there were any previous Dirty Harry movies. Man, I just love Callahan's attitude in this, and how he just doesn't give a shit about anything. He's a mean son of a bitch. And there's a dog, I think it's like a bulldog and he hates the dog all the way through the movie. But then at the end of the movie, they I'm just going to spoil it. They kill the dog, and boy, that's it. That's what drives him crazy. Okay, now you're going to pay. All right? And boy, do they. And it's a great freaking final act because it takes place in this carnival. Man, what a I still think, even though I haven't seen all the Dirty Harrys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it and say this one's the best. It's gotta be. Okay. Now you gotta ask yourself, how many bullets do I have left? Do you feel lucky? He says that, I think, that's the line that everybody remembers, but I don't think I've ever seen the first movie. I need to go back and watch the other. I've seen the Deadpool. I've seen that one. Or is it the Death Pool? I can't remember, with Jim Carrey. I've seen that one. The Deadpool. Yeah, Lance. Thank you. So, yeah. Chris says, Gran Torino is your favorite. I like Gran Torino, but, oh my God. Sudden Impact. My favorite one is Unforgiven. Nothing. Unforgiven is literally one of my all-time favorite movies. That is a masterpiece of a film. Oh my God. William Money. I literally compared what they did with Michael Myers in Halloween Ends to what they did with William Money in Unforgiven. Because William Money was this character who was probably the most dangerous, the deadliest outlaw in his prime, and you were dead. If you were in his presence, that you were dead. He was that feared. And so in Unforgiven, he is, he's got married. His wife just passed away. He's a different person. He's older now. He's war torn. He's not an alcoholic anymore. He's a glimmer of his former self. That's exactly what Myers was in Halloween Ends. After the beating that he took in Kills, I just wasn't shocked at his state, mentally and physically, in Ends. I kind of found it refreshing what they did with him. Leave it to me to bring up Halloween Ends in my best fourth movie countdown. But I did it. All right. Next one. There we go. Scream 4. I think we talked a little bit. I think that's a set photo because you don't see the yellow filter too much on that. Would you guys agree with that? I think that is definitely a set photo. But I'd say this right now. Nothing's ever going to beat the final act of the first movie. But it's tough. It's tough for me to say this is better than 2, though. 2 and 4 have really phenomenal final acts. And I think 4 is really saved by Jill, Emma Roberts. I just loved that character and how ahead of the game she was and how she almost got away with it, And I think, honestly, they should have made her get away with it. Would that have been cool, guys, if at the end of the movie she got away with it? Somehow, Sydney, don't kill Sydney. Leave her alive, But make it to where she doesn't know. Like, leave it open to where Jill doesn't know that Sydney lived. And then you move on to the next movie, to part 5. I think Jill would have been a great character to continue, if I'm being honest. Chris says that was the plan originally. Man, I hate it that was the plan and they killed her off. Because, man, Jill was a great character. She really was. So, yeah, but Scream 4, I love a lot. Of course, we saw Kirby for the first time there. And Kirby might be one of the most beloved characters in the franchise. So, yeah. Brooke says she always looks for... Yeah, because Chris, you're in this movie. Chris, can you tell us about which scene you're in? Are you at the barn? The movie party? Because there's a big crowd there. I would love to know where you are in this movie. That's so freaking cool. Yeah, she is Eric Roberts' daughter, right? Yeah. By the way, I watched... this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but I was just thinking about it. I just watched... what's that documentary? The Decline of the Western Civilization, Part 2. About the metal years of the 80s. And I used to watch that in the 80s. And man, that is such a great documentary. Because it's one of those documentaries where the subjects in the documentary, they think the documentary is one thing, but it's actually kind of another thing when you watch it. They think it's kind of showcasing how awesome they are, when it's actually not necessarily making fun of them, but it's just being really honest about the metal scene at that time. And I think what really sends it home is this section with I think it's Chris Holmes from Wasp. And he's literally like drinking himself to death in the pool. And man, it's sobering. No pun intended. That I think that's the one segment that kind of brings it all home, to show you kind of, I guess, how shallow that world was. Yeah, there was some really great stuff about it and some great music. But the mindset of the young people back then was pretty shallow. So really great, though. JS says, favorite soundtrack, Nightmare 3, 4, or 6? Definitely 3. 4 is great too, though. I do, I might have to stop myself in my tracks there. It might be 4 because I love Vinnie Vincent Invasion, and he's, Love Kills. Love that freaking song. And there's a lot of other great music in that soundtrack. So, but Dream Warriors is one of the most iconic tracks, like rock tracks for a horror movie ever made. So it's kind of tough to answer. 6, no, definitely not. So yeah, good question though. All right, next one. Here we go. Yeah. Oh my God. What a freaking movie. Jesus. Man. Seeing this opening night in the theater back in 1985. That's why I was like highlighting 85 in this, because I think that's about the age I am in that picture that I showed you. That guy, he went to see this movie in the theater opening night, and man, it's to this day one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. Seeing that crowd lose their freaking minds during that final fight and during the training montage. Oh my God, Rocky IV, man. And I know you can pick it apart because of the time frame, the 80s, and I know you can pick it apart because of maybe it has one too many montages, but it's okay. It just really pumps you up. You know, I think more than most of the Rocky movies, this one got me pumped up the most. You know, I mean, he's fighting a literal machine, right? Like, there's been some recent interviews with Stallone, and he talks about originally they wanted this kind of burly, hairy Russian dude that almost looked like a freaking monster, like a gorilla almost. It was almost like Rocky was going to fight a monster. And right at the, you know, he had like 1,000 guys come in to try out for Drago. And when Dolph Lundgren came in, he said, I completely changed the game up. I immediately saw what I wanted to do with Drago when Dolph Lundgren, because Dolph Lundgren, he looked like a perfect specimen. You know, he looked like a model. He was a model. He was highly intelligent. He was the future, and Rocky was the past. So it was like the past versus the future. And you know, the training montage, it's broken up in that way. Rocky is using the elements and nature and creating his own workout regimen, whereas Drago is using the latest technology. And you know, he's almost avoiding you know, being uncomfortable, right? Like he's in a nice heated area. And Rocky just has that edge. He's using the elements. He's freezing to death. He's running up a freaking mountain. So he does all that so that way you can believe that he could beat this guy by the time they get to the final fight. But man, Rocky IV. Okay, next one. Might as well do a 1-2 pump. 1-2 pump. What the fuck? Rambo 4. Man, this one, everybody doubted this movie, you know, because they waited so long, just like they did with Rocky Balboa. When Rocky Balboa first came out, before it was released, everybody had their doubts. Even the studio fought Stallone tooth and nail to get that movie out, because they were like, you're too old. And they're probably right. It was a gamble. But Rocky Balboa was a big hit. Same thing with Rambo. Everybody was really skeptical, but Stallone, man, he came in and he really put his money where his mouth is. He owned it. He was believable as a force in Rambo 4. And, you know, I can kind of relate all this YouTube advice I was giving you guys earlier to Stallone. Stallone sees it through. He doesn't half-ass anything. He pretty much puts his own health and safety on the line to give you the finished product. He almost killed himself in Rocky IV because he wanted that fight to feel so real, you know? Most people wouldn't go that extra mile like Stallone does in his movies. And these movies, they last forever. And Rambo 4, man, I immediately got what he was doing with Rambo 4 from the first moment that the missionaries walk into that I'll just call it the snake pit, wherever he was working, and he's just hard, and he's, you know, Rambo's always been a very hard, not very vocal type of character anyway, but he takes it to another level in this one, and he's like, you know, fuck your war. And he's like, go home. He keeps telling him, go home. I don't care about you. Just leave me alone. I need to do my thing, you know? And it takes this young woman, he sees her, that she's going to be in danger. That's what brings him out of it. But I loved Stallone's performance in Rambo 4. And man, it's bloodier than most horror movies, you know? Yeah. So Yeah, Rambo 4. Proud to put that one on my list. Okay, couple more. Nightmare 4, it's on the list. Okay, I do really, really enjoy this one. And now, if I had to rank it among the first 4, it would probably be in 4th place. But having said that, I still have a ball with it. I love the soundtrack. I love how it feels, like the time frame that it came out. I think Rennie Harlin, he put his own stamp on this movie, and I think it worked really well. I just love the backstory of Rennie Harlin and how, he put himself on the line and he begged and pleaded to get this job directing. He would sleep on couches. He didn't even have a home. He was pretty much, they thought he was homeless. And he would keep showing up at Bob Shaye's office, begging him for a chance. And Rennie Harlin was like the last guy that Bob Shaye wanted to direct this movie. And, perseverance. Again, I can tie it right back to what I was talking about with YouTube. He never gave up. Perseverance. He kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and he figured out a way to get the job. And he did. He got the job. And he made one of the most unique Nightmare movies. That theater scene is so ahead of its time and groundbreaking. And I think if Nightmare 4 wasn't a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and it was just some kind of oddball horror movie, I think it would have got a lot more recognition. But don't forget the steroids. They do help. Yeah. Okay. So I think I got 2 more here. 2 more. Okay. Mad Max. Boy, you got to put this one on here, right? Man, what a surprise this movie was. Because like Rambo 4, we didn't see a Mad Max movie for ages, for years. I mean, the last Mad Max movie was Beyond Thunderdome, which was, I think, in the late 80s. And then this movie comes out in 2015. Do I have to do that math? So you got 90 to 2000, that's 10, right? And then we got 2000 to 2010, that's 20. And then we got 2010 to 2015, that's 5. So that's a roughly 25 years. That was my Howard Stern math. But yeah, 25 years it took to get this movie. And then for it to be as awesome as it was and being arguably one of the best Mad Max movies, wow, what a great freaking movie. It was literally like an energy burst. That's what this movie was. And it's just such a simple plot. Really, the plot of this movie is they go this way, and then they turn around, and then they go back this way. That's it. The whole movie is 2 directions. That's it. Forward, and then we got to go back. That's the whole movie. It's funny if you really think about it. But, man, it's a wild ride. And you got a guy freaking kicking ass and medaling out on a guitar, swinging from the front of one of the vehicles. Yeah, just a fun movie. Action-packed. I can't wait for Furiosa. So, I think this is the last one. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, we still got a few more, actually. Okay. So, should I skip that one? I'll briefly, because Harry Potter has a special place in my heart because my kids, growing up, were the actual same age as the kids in Harry Potter. So, it was kind of cool watching them grow up with Harry Potter, the kids, But I like Goblet of Fire, and I don't think people talk about it enough. I think it gets outshined by what's the one that came out before Goblet of Fire? That's the one that people seem to love the most, which I don't really get. I think I prefer Goblet of Fire, but I think even Order of Phoenix might be my favorite Harry Potter movie, if I'm being honest. Azkaban. That's it. Everybody seems to love Azkaban. I think it's okay. It's okay. What's funny enough, there's kind of a parallel between Azkaban and Nightmare 4, because there is a time loop section in both movies, right? I didn't even think about that, but yeah, there is. So yeah, but Goblet's fun because it takes place around this whole game that they got to play. They got to play this tournament, and games and tournaments, they're fun in these type of movies. And I think the characters are at like pivotal points in their childhood, This is where they start becoming teenagers in Azkaban, but this is where you get more relationships and whatnot, and then they're a little bit more emotional. And I really like Goblet. I like all the Harry Potter movies. They're fun movies. Okay, so I think we got 3 more. Yeah, 3 more. Okay, so here we go. Again, no particular order. Halloween 4. I've talked ad nauseum about this movie. I'm sure you don't want to hear me talk about it anymore, but I love it. I love it to death. I hate to use the word perfect, but it's almost perfect. And I know The Mask gets a lot of flack, and you're right, but man, to me, it's just a perfect sequel. It checks every freaking box, And that twist ending just really floored me. Really, I wasn't prepared for that, okay? Love the characters, love the tone, love the cinematography, love Loomis in the movie. I could go on and on and on. I think Dwight H. Little did a damn good job with this movie, and I hope and pray that he gets the opportunity to make a Halloween 4 Part 2. I would that would be my Christmas, if I'm being honest. If I could get one movie made in the next 3 years as a gift to me, that would be it. Halloween 4 Part 2. If he can come back as strong as he did with that movie, because I think Dwight H. Little was hungry when he made Halloween 4. You could see that's a director that, man, he had a vision. And if he could come back as strong with the sequel, make sure that it doesn't look cheap, make sure the cinematography feels like it did in that movie, yeah. Give me that all freaking day, baby. Road Warrior is great, Mega. Road Warrior is freaking one of the greatest sequels ever made. I can't take that away. Okay. Next one, Friday 4. I'll give the spotlight to Jimmy and Ted just because they're so damn fun. But pretty much everything I said for Halloween 4, it's the same thing for Friday 4. Perfection. Guys, if you want like in-depth, detailed analysis of this movie, I just did a commentary and I made it public right after. I did it with my patrons and my channel members. Okay. By the way, I do those once a month. Consider becoming a channel member or a patron. And matter of fact, I have my, I painted my wall back there. I recorded the whole process. I vlogged it. So I'm going to be putting that together hopefully this weekend, and I'll put that out to the patrons and the channel members so that way you guys can see. That's not going public either. That's exclusively for you guys. You can see my whole process of painting this entire back wall, and how I almost pulled my hair out. It was fun. So, yeah. But, yeah, last one, definitely not least, Evil Dead, the remake. Wow. I mean, it might be my favorite Evil Dead movie. If I got to have a conversation with myself about it, but man, it's just so good and unique and different. And I love the tone, how dark it is. I think when you're making a sequel that doesn't have Ash, you got to come swinging, you got to come out swinging. And boy, did they. This movie does not fuck around at all. Okay. Matt, this is the ultimate fuck around and find out movie. I don't even remember if I put it on the list, but if I didn't, I should have. But I love Jane Levy. You're never going to compete with Bruce Campbell and what he did, but I think it was really cool that she ended up losing her hand and she got like the chainsaw at the end of the movie. Just really cool. But man, it's probably the Evil Dead movie I watched the most too, if I'm being honest. It really is. It's another freaking perfect movie. So what is it about Part 4, guys? Part 4 movies, I think more times than not, they end up being great. It's almost like Part 4 is kind of a reset for any franchise. And if you go through like this list of all the Part 4s that I've talked about, I think most of them are kind of a reset. Like freaking like Bride of Chucky, like this movie Evil Dead. Rocky 4 was kind of a reset because the first 3 had their own tone. Rambo 4 was kind of a reset. Live Free or Die Hard. I think that's the thing that makes Part 4 movies great. You can't do the same thing that you just did. You have to regroup, realign, right? So yeah. Anyway, that was that. We did it, guys. We did the Part 4. Any questions for me? I'll give you a few more minutes. All right. Jesus. I love having fun with you guys. Thunderball. Is that the 4th James Bond movie? I don't even know which one's, but I'm sure that one's great. Are you a fan of Psycho 4? That would be on my list. I do need to, it's hard for me to answer that. I reviewed the first 3. I never reviewed the 4th one. I will say, I think I can say that it is probably my least favorite because I love the first 3 so much, like so much. Including the 3rd. I adore Psycho 3, and I think it's highly, highly underrated. Love the score to that movie too. But so I think 4 is a step down, but I kind of want to throw in 4. I might throw it in after this and watch it again. Maybe I'll review it. Exclusive. But yeah. I still never watched a James Bond movie. James Bond's definitely a certain flavor. I've never been a Bond fan. My dad is a huge Bond fan, but I really never got into Bond. Guitarist, he says, Lee, any interest in hosting a live Twitter space so us subscribers and viewers can chat with you? Twitter space? I didn't even know there was such a thing, Guitarist Dog. I don't know. It's something I never thought about. Now, I will say, and I'm not trying to get you guys to become channel members or anything, but just to answer your question, I do a monthly or maybe bi-monthly because we'll do like a movie night and then but it's just channel members and just patrons where it's more like intimate and one-on-one and we're not one-on-one, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So I do that, but I don't really have the time to step outside of that and open up another chat dialogue on any other, I don't do Twitch. I don't do any of that. I just kind of partition my space in different places. So, but one way I did try to maybe give back to the community for free was recently I just did this Instagram pics type deal where I just said, hey, give me a movie to review. And I got over 100 submissions. And I found this movie from 1973 called The Baby. And that immediately caught my eye. And I was like, yeah, I want to review that. And if not for doing that, I would have never known about that movie. So I do appreciate all my viewers, not just channel members and patrons, but anybody who takes the time to watch my reviews and takes the time to suggest me, because I review stuff all the time that you guys suggest to me. So, yeah. Chester says, I appreciate the stream, Lee, but question, have you done a best part 2? No, this is the first time I've done best of any sequel in a movie. It just out of the blue today, I thought, hey, I'll do part 4s. But that's the great thing about this. As far as video, YouTube ideas, I can do that now. I can go and do best, part 1s, part 2s, part 3s. It starts getting more slim pickings when you start doing 5 and 6, but you can still do it. But yeah, I mean, the idea of this is, I probably will down the line. And also, if you remember, I just did the best and worst of each Halloween movie. I'm going to do that for other franchises. I even wrote down Friday. I was going to do Friday today, but I just didn't have time. But yeah, so look for that coming soon on one of the upcoming DDLives. We could do best and worst of Friday the 13th, or maybe Scream. I might put out a vote and let you guys pick outside of Halloween which one you'd like to do next, because that could be fun. If you don't know what that is, we take each movie and we give you the best thing and the worst thing about it. So that way there's kind of an even ground with each movie, so it doesn't look like I'm saying this movie is, it has to be the best out of the franchise. I'm not doing it like that, even kill. Shelby, definitely watch The Baby. It's on Tubi, and quite a few people in my comments said they watched it based on the review and they loved it. It's just unique, And I'll tell you right now, the ending, I made sure I did not spoil the ending because it's that good. The twist ending is so freaking good in the movie. And it pulls the rug out, right? From the whole it makes you rethink everything you just watched. That's what's great about the ending. It's kind of like what they did with Fight Club. It just made you rethink everything. Perfection. So, yeah. Hellraiser 4, I thought about it. I don't think it's there, But there's some things I like about Hellraiser 4, and there's some things I don't like about it. You know, I thought about putting it on the list, but already had like 13 movies anyway, so yeah. For Your Eyes Only, yeah, that I'm trying to remember which one. I've seen like Golden. Was it? Is it GoldenEye? I can't remember. I'm not a Bond guy. If I'm being. Just realized what you're sharing. Oh yeah, it's the Universal Monsters, in Kiss makeup, right? Yeah, love it. Let's see. I'm not the biggest fan of most of the Hellraiser. Yeah, it's a tough franchise. Some people love it, but I reviewed all those movies, and boy, that was tough. I think it took me like a year to get to all of them. Goldfinger, that's what it is, Vinny. Yeah, Goldfinger's actually pretty decent. I like Goldfinger. So yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna hang it up, guys. We did like 2.5 hours tonight. Okay, I apologize if I talked way too long about YouTube, and I didn't plan on it, but I figured, you know what, if I'm going to give it, I'm going to give you all of it. Okay. So that way, you know, and that way you can go back and watch it. Maybe I'll kind of partition it up when I clip it out, because it is kind of long, but yeah. So, but yeah, anyway, guys, I probably won't be streaming next weekend because I'm going to be on call at work, but who knows? Maybe if I'm not feeling like I'm getting any calls, maybe I'll still stream. I love talking with you guys. It's really fun. But yeah. Anyway, take care of each other, guys. Okay? Have a fantastic weekend. I'm gonna go get some like McDonald's or something like that, okay?